Well, it seems like PlayStation might be undergoing some changes starting next year in relation to their PlayStation Plus subscription. Um, it's been reported on Game Rant that Sony is going to eventually stop offering PS4 games as a key benefit for PlayStation Plus. And to some people, it makes sense, and to others, they're quite upset about that because I'm pretty sure when a lot of people paid for the PlayStation Plus subscription, that was something that was a part of the deal. Um, despite what plan you got. Like those who get the PlayStation Plus Extra, having up to 400 PS4 and PS5 games is a part of the deal. And to know that that's something that is going to be removed, or at least the PS4 games, knowing that's something that's going to be removed, I'm pretty sure it's something that pisses a lot of people off. But at the same time, PlayStation 4 is last gen, and you can get a lot of PS4 games at used video game stores for like dirt cheap nowadays. But yeah, I mean, it's something that no one really had on their bingo card, myself included. But I heard that that's something that's not really stopping people from getting PlayStation Plus subscriptions. And as people know, there are like multiple tiers for PlayStation Plus, whether you get the essential, the extra, or the premium subscription. And the highest that you can get is, I believe, the premium, and annually you would have to pay $159.99. And for those who have a monthly premium subscription, you get $17.99 monthly, and quarterly you'll have to pay like $49.99. So yeah, like premium is the most expensive. Essential, I believe, is the least expensive, and extra is like somewhere in the middle. And yeah, like when it comes to gaming in general, whether you're a PlayStation user or an Xbox user, online gaming subscriptions and passes are almost like it's almost necessary to get like full benefit out of whatever console you're playing. Some people just enjoy having certain games and just buying DLC for that. So for those players, I don't think it's really going to affect them a lot. But for those who already have subscriptions, I'm pretty sure you're probably not going to be too happy about it. And even though subscriptions for the PlayStation Plus has been increasing rapidly, a lot of people wonder whether or not that's something that's going to decline starting next year, because like you look at PlayStation 5, PS5 has been selling like pretty well on its own, and it's mainly because of the games that are featured on the PS5. And I think the PS5 is backwards compatible with PS4 games for the most part. So I don't think it's something that's going to be that much of a big deal to too many people. But at the same time, you got to look at like the PS4. The PS4 itself came out back in late 2013, I believe. So that console is like more than a decade old, and the games are last gen. And like the only downside to this is that if PlayStation goes about like completely removing like all PS4 games from their Plus subscription service, there'd be some rare games that certain people would not be able to get their hands on. Like, I think Bloodborne is kind of hard to like find in stores, and a couple of other lost gems. I feel like it's going to be hard to find in certain stores, so you'd probably have to order it from eBay or Amazon or what have you. But for the most part, it'll just allow people to, I guess, determine what PlayStation 4 games they haven't played within the past decade or so, and specifically just order that opposed to spending more money on getting a bunch of games that they may or may not play. So I do feel like there is an upside to that. But yeah, I mean, this is something that a lot of people really did not expect, and I don't know, maybe this is a part of something bigger that Sony has planned for PlayStation, and maybe they just want to focus more exclusively on PlayStation 5 games because I don't know, I don't feel like PS5 games get talked about as much as some of the older PS4 games because there was like a litany of top like PS4 games that came out, back in the teens decade. And you look at games like for the PS4 that a lot of people still talk about to this day. I'm talking about games like God of War from 2018. You got Grand Theft Auto 5. You got Red Dead Redemption 2. You got The Witcher 3 to Wild Hunt. You got The Last of Us. Part two. You got The Last of Us remastered. You got so many titles that came out. Hell, even Ghost of Tsushima. You got so many titles that came out back then that are best sellers that people still play to this day. And and I understand that Sony and PlayStation they want consumers to focus more on the recent games that came out, but I don't know. I feel like that this is something that can either help, or it's something that can end up biting them in the backside later on. But I don't think it's something that people really didn't ask for, but at the same time, it's something that I feel like certain people can live with regardless, as long as they don't keep going up on the subscription prices. Because if they're removing like last generation games, and let's just say there's a dramatic price hike between now and early 2026, then I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to get pissed, and that might cause people to reconsider renewing their subscriptions or to just drop their subscriptions altogether. Either way, 2016 is going to be a very interesting year for gaming, and I mean, I'm hoping that we're going to get some high profile releases for the PlayStation 5 if they plan on cutting back on PS4 games with the PlayStation Plus.